It started with something simple, a forgotten passport in a locked hotel safe. In January 2019, cleaning staff at a boutique hotel in Tulum, Mexico, were preparing a room that had been prepaid for 2 weeks. The guest never returned. The bed was made, the toothbrush used, the water bottle half empty. But the most unusual discovery was inside the safe, a passport belonging to 33-year-old Daniel Whitaker, a freelance journalist from Portland, Oregon. The local police suspected another tourist got lost or drowned. But something about it felt off. Daniel had been missing for 10 days when the passport surfaced, and according to his last known contacts, he wasn't in Mexico to relax. He was chasing a story. A dangerous one. Interpol got involved almost immediately. Daniel wasn't just any journalist. In his short but impactful career, he had exposed corrupt military contracts, private security scandals, and government surveillance abuse across 3 continents. Friends recalled him talking, almost obsessively, about a major story he was following, something involving a black market weapons trade connecting Eastern Europe, Central America, and the U.S. On January 3rd, the day he vanished, Daniel sent a final email to his editor in New York. It read, "If anything happens to me, it won't be an accident. Watch the airport footage." That was the last time anyone heard from him. Security tapes from Cancun International Airport confirmed Daniel had landed. He wore a black hoodie and a baseball cap, moving with intent. But he wasn't alone. 2 men in suits trailed him at a careful distance. They weren't tourists. They weren't part of airport staff. And then, in a strange twist, Daniel entered a taxi and completely vanished from every subsequent camera. No plate numbers. No traffic cameras. No hotel lobby footage. It was as if the taxi itself had disappeared. Weeks passed. Then, in London, a surprising connection emerged. On January 28th, UK authorities raided an apartment and arrested Marcus Devane, a minor arms dealer with suspected links to the Balkans. During interrogation, Devane casually mentioned a name, Danny White from Portland. It was Daniel's common alias when operating undercover. According to Devane, he'd helped Daniel get forged documents and a burner phone. But he also issued a warning. He was asking the wrong people the wrong questions. They don't play nice. Strangely, Devane was released 24 hours later. No charges. Rumors circulated that British intelligence had pulled strings behind the scenes. By February, the case took another dark turn. At the U.S. consulate in Ciudad Juarez, an anonymous call came in. A woman, speaking in rapid Spanish, claimed she had seen a gringo journalist being held at a cartel compound somewhere in the Sierra Madre Mountains. The line was cut after just 48 seconds. Acting on the tip, Interpol and Mexican federal agents launched a raid. They didn't find Daniel. But they did find something chilling: encrypted hard drives, surveillance equipment, and a wall lined with photographs. Among them, images of U.S. agents, embassy personnel, and Daniel at the Cancun airport. Someone had been tracking him before he even landed. Then came the Canadian connection. In March 2019, border agents in Vancouver intercepted a shipping container labeled automotive parts. Hidden inside were weapons, high-grade military tech, including grenade launchers and drone components. The shipment was traced to a shell company in Montreal. A seized laptop revealed an email. It read, "D. Whitaker has the drive. Stop him before border." Canadian intelligence, SISE, launched a secretive investigation. They learned Daniel had flown to Toronto 2 weeks before heading to Mexico. There, he'd met with an anonymous whistleblower, now confirmed dead from what officials called suicide. But family members disputed the claim, insisting he was terrified before his death. Things escalated again in June 2019. An anonymous dump of over 1 terabyte of encrypted data, called the Yucatan Files, appeared on the dark web. It contained documents that connected Eastern European gunrunners, Mexican cartels, offshore banking trails, and even U.S. defense contractors. Hidden in the metadata was a document titled Red Eagle Protocol. Cyber analysts said it outlined a massive, illegal weapons pipeline. Eastern Europe to Mexico, Mexico to the U.S. and Canada, using fake parts manifests, forged customs records, and bribes at every level. Corrupt politicians, intelligence agents, military insiders, Daniel, it appeared, had cracked into something massive. But was it too late? On August 4, 2019, a bloated body was pulled from the Usumacinta River near the Guatemala border. The body had a gunshot wound to the chest, burned fingertips, and no ID. While Interpol confirmed it wasn't Daniel, the details were alarming. In the man's pocket was a metro ticket from Portland, Oregon. And inside his shoe, a microSD card. That card held a corrupted, shaky video. Daniel appeared on screen, visibly shaken. He spoke fast. "They found me. If you're seeing this, go to the folder named Athena and leak everything. Don't trust official channels. Ever." There were loud knocks. Then shouting. The screen went black. Since then, Daniel Whitaker has remained officially missing. Interpol lists him as a high-priority international disappearance. The case is now believed to be part of a global crime web involving cartel enforcers, corrupt officials in North America, and a black market arms network operating under diplomatic blind spots. In the years since, several whistleblowers linked to the Yucatan Files have either disappeared or died. The compound raided in the mountains was burned down 2 months later in what authorities called an unrelated gang conflict. The email trail went cold. The burner phones shut off. And Daniel, ghosted. Some believe he's dead. Others are convinced he faked his death and escaped. Rumors swirl online of a man matching his description living off-grid in Argentina, or perhaps even embedded with rebels in the Middle East, using a new identity. Nothing has been confirmed. What is certain is this: Daniel Whitaker knew something powerful people didn't want to be exposed. And when he got too close, they buried him, not just physically, but digitally, politically, and globally. But traces remain. The files are still floating in encrypted forums. The photo of Daniel at the airport continues to circulate on Interpol watch lists. And somewhere out there, folder Athena still exists, locked behind a digital wall, waiting to be opened. This isn't just a missing person story. It's a warning. When secrets span across borders, the truth doesn't disappear. It hides.